What's up, guys? So it's been a really busy day for me. As you've seen this week, I'm working nights, flying during the day, and I've got all sorts of other crazy things going on, like editing these videos for you guys. So I've been really busy, and tomorrow, right after I get off from work, I am immediately hopping on a plane to go to LA to hang out with all the guys from Rotor Riot and record some stuff for that. Lots of cool things on the horizon. It's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait to go and do it. But as such, I haven't really had time to go out and fly today. So what I was thinking is, since I have to pack, I could give you guys some tips for traveling with your drone. Quad, multi-rotor, toy, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to give you some tips about how I pack and things that I take, things that I leave behind, and some considerations that I bring when I go traveling. So let's get to it, all right? First thing, we're gonna go and we're gonna consult with the TSA's website, and I'm gonna show you exactly where it is that they tell you what you can and can't bring, and some of the ways that you need to pack those things when you do bring them. All right, so let's go do that. Okay, so here we are, guys. My favorite place to start off a good search, Google. So let's check out TSA restrictions. That sounds good. All right, 3-in-1 liquid rules. That does not apply to us. Look at this. I done looked at it. Prohibited items. So let's go look at what we can and can't take, because there's a lot of things here. Number 1, tools. This is a very important thing. No axes, hatchets, cattle prods, crowbars, drills and drill bits, hammers, saws. Now, screwdrivers, wrenches, and pliers, less than 7 inches in length. Pretty much all of my tools fall into that category. They're good for your carry-on and your checked bags. Tools greater than 7 inches in length, not for the carry-ons. Now, the one thing that I'm going to note here is this holds up great when you're traveling in the U.S. If you are traveling internationally, most other countries are going to require that you check all tools. So anytime I'm going overseas or outside of the U.S., I go ahead and put all of my tools into my checked bag. Wait here, sharp objects. This is, so, box cutters, no carry-on. Disposable razor, you can carry on. Where is the razor type blades? Box cutters, razor blades not in a cartridge are prohibited in carry-on. That is, that's going to be like your hobby knife. So that's basically the only change that I make to my toolkit is I take my hobby knife out and I keep my tools in my carry-on because I try not to check a bag personally. Okay, spare lithium batteries. This is all of your lipos, guys, are prohibited in checked baggage. Battery chargers. You can pack a battery charger and carry-on and checked bag. Alright guys, I know this isn't the official source, but I'm getting into crunch time, so I'm going to go with that because I know that is also accurate. That is the rule. You can take your lipos, but they have to be in your carry-on. The rules also state that they have to be in a safe carrying package and separately packaged. What I've done in the past is put each individual battery inside of a little HQ prop bag. And that keeps them nice and separated so that they don't short out on each other. All right, moving on. Okay, so the first thing that I start out with in my bag is just a couple of t-shirts on the bottom to act as padding. You're going to see why in just a minute. So I throw in just a couple of t-shirts. Now we have a nice soft base to the bag. On top of that, after that, I throw in my charger because it's one of the biggest items that I pack. I use the 406B and a power supply. So that's got 3 parallel boards, which I daisy chain to. Charger, power supply. I can charge everything. I got some spare cables for goggles and Tyrannus battery up front in case I need those. Now I throw this in here because it's going to take up a ton of space. So I get it kind of situated, and I'll fill in some holes around here. Okay, so while I got my nice padding down and my charger is in here and all situated, I go ahead and take the props off of my quads. Now, you may have seen in my backpack video that I like to strap my quads to my backpack. When I travel, I don't do carry-on. I don't do checked baggage. almost ever. So this will be my carry-on, and my backpack will be my personal item. One thing to note is if you are traveling with JetBlue, they have a size restriction on your personal item, and most backpacks are not going to fit in that. So what I usually do, I take the props off to save size. If I do have to strap them onto my backpack because of size restrictions, I'll go ahead and take the props off also. And the reason for that is taking the props off if it's on the bag is because it's just something to poke people with when you're walking down the aisle on the plane. The space on planes is very restricted. There's not a lot of room to work with it. So I like to stick them in my bag. It also reduces the chance that they're going to get damaged from a flight attendant or someone rearranging things in the overhead bin. It's just a much safer way to travel with them. What I'll tend to do is try to situate them so that the antennas are not able to really move. Okay, so now that I've got the quads kind of sitting in there to where they're protecting each other's antennas, I'll take some small things like socks and kind of stuff it underneath. Make sure that these receiver antennas are protected from getting bent too far, and also the FPV antennas aren't going to go down anywhere. So that has pretty much secured up all of the little bits. Now go in and fill in some of these gaps around the quads with boxers and any other kind of soft material that you might be traveling with. Kind of leave yourself a nice level area there, and you can go ahead and put more clothes on top of that. So now we've created a little padded pocket, if you will, for our quads, and we don't have to worry so much about them. They're nice and secured away inside of our luggage. Now, another plan that I may end up having to employ if things go south with this travel, and I have to check a bag, I can always check this bag and know that my quads are well padded on the inside. Okay, let's move on to my flight bag and any changes that I'm going to do there. This is going to be a fairly quick explanation because there's not many things that I'm going to do differently here. I'm just going to make sure my twisty ties aren't falling off since there's no quads on them. And this guy's fun. Have you noticed those time lapses that pan? Simple leg timer. Not really a travel tip, but I'm taking it with me. My battery is in my bag for my work, and that's the phone charging battery and GoPro charging battery. Yeah, everything is looking good. The one thing that I am going to do differently here with the with my quad bag is my oh man, I almost forgot. This is a bad one to forget too. So, hobby knife, that doesn't go. That one stays here. Everything else, it's going with me. Now, your lipos, it is a really good idea if you can to separate those out. And that really does it for any differences that I am going to have with the ways in which I pack my gear up. Basically take my X-Acto knife out and pack my mini quads inside of a suitcase. So, yep, just cuts down on the number of questions, cuts down on the nuisance factor, reduces the risk that you're gonna break anything. That's it. I just remember one other tip. I don't know how many people's luggage rolling bags have hooks on them, but for airline crew, that's pretty much a must because we've always had heavy bags that we hook onto the front. We basically live our lives on the road. So what I like to do, since I have a hook on my bag, I take my backpack and using the waistband here, or actually, I'm sorry, using the chest strap, I make sure that the shoulder straps don't have any danglies. So I secure those danglies here. How do you like that term, danglies? There, you see how that doesn't dangle down anymore? And then I take my waistband and connect it through the top handle here. And that makes it so that this handle isn't way up here, it's down lower. I'll show you why that's important in just 1 second. Okay, so now what that's going to allow me to do is use this hook here to hook on to my backpack so that when I'm rolling through the airport, I don't have to carry the backpack on my bag. It becomes weightless and much easier to navigate the airport. Alright guys, well thank you for tuning in. That's pretty much all I have as far as tips on packing go. I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. I'd love to hear your feedback and what you guys think and your experiences have been. One last note I will leave you with. Typically when you're going through security and they're x-raying your bag and you have LiPo batteries, it's going to look like one big black blob on their screen. And they're going to be very curious. So they will be asking you to take them out of your bag. I find it's easier to just ahead of time go ahead and remove my LiPo bag out of my backpack. Seems to help speed up the process. They're always curious. I get pulled aside often. Sometimes I don't. Most of the time I do, and they're like, "What you doing?" I'm like, "Oh, these are for drones," and everything's fine. Sometimes they're curious, sometimes not, and then I move out and go on about my day. So, hope this was helpful. If it was, click that like button. Subscribe. I'll be back again tomorrow with a whole new video, probably about my travels out to LA, and hopefully I'll get into some fun shenanigans out there. Yeah, those are cats. Anyways, thanks guys, and we'll see you again tomorrow. Bye.